Have you ever passed a construction site and you see them knocking down all the trees, and then you're thinking, oh, what impact does this have long term and in the big picture? Let's talk about some ways we can combat that. Hi everybody, welcome back to another video by Pan Society. I'm Cherie, and today I want to talk about what happens when they just cut down a whole bunch of trees all in the name of construction and the impact it has spiritually as well as physically and ecologically. I didn't notice, and it shows how observant I've been. Well, actually I don't drive that way, but not too far away they are building new houses. So they're tearing down a lot of the forests around us, and there seems to be a lot of new construction going on around here. And so let me start off by saying I'm not against new constructions. I understand we have to build homes for people. I understand that we just keep expanding and expanding where people are living. But it's trying to be more mindful of what's happening long term and in the big picture. Because within those trees that are being cut down live spirits or energies, and not to mention animals. There's a lot of that, a lot of animals being displaced as well. So let's start off with the spirits, the tree spirits. When we start disturbing all of that and they have no place to go, that kind of shakes things up energetically, and when they're in turmoil or they're lost and they have no roots and nowhere to go, if you're in tune, you feel that too. So you'll feel a less of a connection, or you might get a little out of sorts with your emotions, and things like that start to happen. So there's things that we can do to combat that, but also thinking about the animals that we're displacing. Trees house birds. They produce babies. Forests contain other animals, foxes, opossums, raccoons, everything. Everything has a place on this planet. Everything has a reason for being, a job to do. It has a place in the Great Circle, right? So, you'll notice that if you live in heavily populated areas, strange animals that you normally don't see start to encroach those areas. That's, coyotes in the city, or, wolves or bears eating out of your garbage can. That's because they have no place to go and they're hungry. And we have taken away everything, all the places that they normally live. But we can sort of change that balance a little bit. So now for the bigger predator animals, it's a little harder. So we have to rely on preservations and things like that. But one of the reasons it really bugs me right now, and it's really heavy on my heart, is I live in an area that is, they're starting to build up around us. But we love the wildlife that we have. So if we have a fox in the backyard or a coyote, I'm okay with this. Some of my neighbors not so much, and I live in an area that's very shooty and with no thought of the repercussions of what they're doing. Like maybe that animal that they're killing has babies, or was keeping something else in check. Like there's a whole system that you mess up when you don't think about what you're doing. Plus they're not honoring that animal because it's only doing what it needs to do. It's looking for food and a place to stay. So we do all the little things that we can. So it's contacting the right people to sort of rehome the animals in a place that they'll thrive and survive. And for the smaller things, these are things that we can do at home, especially if you live on land, or even if you don't, you can do a couple of rogue acts. It depends on how far you want to go with this. But I have a tendency to collect treelings, little saplings of trees everywhere. You find them around the base of other trees that you like. And some of them, the reason I do it, it started was because they were medicinal trees. And then because I have a plant addiction, I just take a lot of them. And now I plant them. So I plant as many trees as I can on my own property. But then also in rogue places like parks, around lakes, things like that. Places that I hope they're not going to be destroyed or disturbed anytime soon, but trying to get as many growing as possible. Now, the great thing about this is, even though I live in a place where it seems like a lot of people just aren't connected enough and don't care about the animals that are here or the plants or, everything that's going on, people will stop and ask you what you're doing, and some people will start to help. So it's kind of a chain reaction of things. So I had some extra, I was in the park. It's not really a park, it's like a lake area, and I was planting some stuff, and some people walking by, they're like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm planting some trees. And they're like, they ask questions, and then it rolls from there, and then they're like, oh, well, we would like to help, and then it snowballs. So hopefully they took that idea with them, and they're continuing it on their own, in their own little ways. So we're giving spirits homes, we're giving animals homes, and hopefully it starts this big cycle of wherever we're not disturbing things, the animals can go back to, the spirits can go back to, and we'll find some sort of balance in it. And that's one of those things that makes my heart grow. If you have any experience doing something like that, or any suggestions on how we can help out the earth and the animals and the spirits, comment down below. Let me know what you're doing. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. And don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time in another Pan video.